It was 1992, and we had this coach. Now, I joined this team, so of course the coach wasn't going to be there for one game. And he said, and we were playing the alleged second best team, because allegedly we were the first best team. And he goes, "Don't worry, girls, you're not going to win. I'm not going to be here." I'm like, "We're not going to win because you're not going to be here? Really?" So he told us that the Sunday before the next game. Now, I happen to have been married. My husband was the center at Colgate when there was no Division 1A1. We were the top 25. He was a center. I loved football. I wanted to learn everything about it. So when I was playing, and I was the middle linebacker on defense, which is, the quarterback of the defense, and I played the offense. And if you're somewhat of a good offensive player, you really have to know what everybody else is doing so you understand things. So I'm like, we're not going to lose this game. I could coach this. I said this to myself because I wasn't trying to be as outspoken as I normally am. I was just saying, how hard is this? We know what they're going to do. We just got to stay in the position. We'll call the plays. And I said, come on, listen, girls, we're going to win this game next week. We're going to practice without our coach this week because he's not going to be there. So why do we need him to practice? Not being a jerk, but we can't be used to him calling stuff if he's not going to be there. We'll figure it out ourselves. This is not the happy fairy tale ending that I'm making up. The true story is we kicked their butt. And ever since then, I knew that I could, personally, could do it. And just because he was a guy who played high school football means absolutely nothing. I understand football. Then, the following year, again, true story, everybody wanted to play on our team. You can only have so many people playing 8-on-8. The coach said, I'm going to pick the girls that are going to take me where I want to go. I have no idea where he wanted to go, and I certainly know he's still not there right now. But back in 1993, he was picking the girls where he wanted to go. Screw that. I'm picking the girls that I want to pick. I got my team, I got my friends, got my people together. We formed the T-Devils, and we were national champs 8 years in a row. And no one ever freaking beat us. And we did everything. And I listen, I know, and in everything. You can't think you know everything or else you never learn. And I'm always here to learn. But I knew that I knew enough, and I was open to learning enough that I could take my team. And I was the only female coach ever in football, and I pretty much still am all over the place. And my team were the national champs. We traveled the whole United States. We've traveled everywhere. We've won every single tournament. And that's how I started, because he said, I'm taking these girls to where I want to go. And we played him that year and his team in that Key West tournament that I told you about, and we kicked their butt. And he's another person that never, ever beat a team that I coach. I'm not a me player at all, and Adrian knows that. I'm just saying, for me personally, that's what made me realize that I could do it. And what gets me aggravated right now with women's football, that we have these coaches, but because they're men, they're all of a sudden the know-all of anything, which they're not. But because a lot of women, because we don't have little Newt Rockney Pee-wee leagues at 5 years old like the boys do. So by the time a boy or a man is 18 years old, they've been coached in football for over 10 years. They know so many things. The average woman that walks onto the tackle field, we'll talk tackle, never got an opportunity to play anything because right now they're too old to have played, just started 2 years ago in the high schools. They don't know anything except what they watch on TV. So they're sitting in the room with these guys who, if these guys know nothing about football, it's a little bit more than what they know. And that was my pet peeve all the time. I knew, that's what got me in trouble all the time too, I knew these guys didn't know what they were talking about. Not because I'm great, just because I had a little bit of knowledge, but because everybody had no knowledge, I was the big mouth. But they knew nothing, and I was always proven right. And I'm telling you, in Adrian, as she's progressed in her career, she now knows the coaches that know nothing, who just, I'm a guy, and I'm going to coach these women even though I know nothing, and the coaches that know something. Same with the referees, same with every spectrum. So if you ask me what I want out of football, first of all, for all you women that are told you can't do it, just go out and prove you can do it. You don't need to have a monkey on your back, because just like when you score a touchdown in the game, you don't have to make a big scene about it. We scored a touchdown. Everybody knows you scored a touchdown. Because I don't like any of that I don't like grandstanding. I don't like high stepping. I don't like a lot of talk. Your talk is on the field. So if they think the naysayers think you can't do it, just go and show them that you can do it. Because they've got eyes and they'll watch you do whatever it is, whether you're the blocker, whether you're the runner, whether you're the receiver, whether you're the quarterback, whether you're the linebacker, whether you're the safety. Do your position and show them that you could do it. That's what I would say to the players. To the public, I would say, listen, just don't have a predetermined answer to your questions. Don't be predisposed to anything. Go out there and watch these women play, and just revel in their athletic ability and watch them. Have an open mind. We're not asking to play against the guys. We're not saying, oh, put me on Alabama's football team right now. I want to come out of college and do that. I'm not saying that we wouldn't like to. I'm not saying that we wish we didn't have those opportunities equal. But we're not saying we're competing against you. We're just competing in a sport with our peers, same like you are. So give us that opportunity. I'm not asking to be you, and you're not asking to be me. But in our sport, just accept me for what I am. And until we get the backing of the NFL, like basketball got the NBA. Women's basketball was nothing until the NBA got there. When the NFL will say, hey, yes, we'll support women's tackle, and let's see where it comes. Give us that credibility. Don't give us 5-on-5 powder puff football where you can't touch anybody, because that's not football. Let us play. We're adults. And you know what? You can get hurt crossing the street. You can get hurt figure skating. You can get a broken rib playing basketball. You can get a concussion. So give us the same opportunity in football. That's all. Give us the opportunity. We're not asking for anything. And if you're gay, you're gay. And if you're a male football player and gay, you're gay. We don't say, oh, he's straight, he's gay. Who cares? Like, really, who really cares? And if it bothers you that much, I can't help that. That's one thing I can't help, because you can't promise that everybody's straight, because you can't promise that everybody's gay. Just in any sport, male and female. We don't ask, that. We don't ask anything of the men. So why should it be asked of the women? And why do they have to prove? Everybody tries to prove that they're feminine, that is the one particularly annoying thing, because the feminine women have to prove they're feminine. They have to prove their femininity. That's what they have to prove. If you ask about their talent, they don't have to prove. But their femininity, I feel that everybody always says, let's look good. And I think even all our peers, hey, if we're going to go to a shoot about football, let's take the prettiest girls. Why? If an ugly male football player, they don't care if he's ugly. They don't care if he has hair all over his face. They don't care what he looks like in the interview. Yes, to be marketed, they care about. So that's what I would say to the world, if you wanted to know.